I want to talk about execution. Now, in life, you guys have to understand things are going to get tight. You're going to feel a little bit of pressure. You're going to feel a little bit of urgency. And I just want to say, listen, all you have to do is execute. All you have to do is figure out what it's going to take to get out the situation. Get a calculator. Listen, one of my favorite strategies that I do, I literally get a calculator. When I get a calculator, I literally sit down, count the costs, what exactly I need. Listen, that right there is what I mean by mapping it out, trapping it out. Doesn't matter if it's a whiteboard, vision board, calculator, you name it, map it out, trap it out. I get a calculator, plug in the numbers, and I figure out if I want to execute in a certain amount of time, how much do I need to make? And I'm gonna say this again, I think about how much I need to make in order to execute. And then I plug in a formula. If I do X amount around this time, it's gonna get me out of the situation. It's just that easy. And I'm gonna say this again, it is just that easy. Pressure, listen, it's like any other emotion. It comes, it goes. And I'm gonna say this again, pressure, it's like any other emotion. It comes, it goes. But if you learn, and I'm not telling you what to do, but if you learn, shout out to my man in the building, if you learn how to execute, you guys have to understand, you can get out of any jam, any situation. You gotta see yourself coming out of the situation. And I'm gonna say this again, you have to see yourself coming out of the situation. Once you see yourself coming out of the situation, listen, nothing can stop you. And I'm gonna say this again, nothing can stop you. Listen, so much is going on in the world, but you guys have to understand, if you cannot execute, you are gonna be stuck in the same place. You are gonna be stuck in the same situation. It is so important to understand how to execute, how to make plays, how to make things happen. Listen, you guys have to understand, we live in a world where a lot of people, if they could hurt you financially, they will try their best. And I'm gonna say this again, a lot of people, if they could hurt you financially, if they could mess up your motion, they will try their best. And at times you're gonna fall. And I'm gonna say this again, at times you're gonna fall. But let me tell you guys something. Every day is a new day to make a comeback. And I'm gonna say it again, every day is a new day to make a comeback. If you execute daily, you should be able to get out of a situation in a month. And I'm gonna say this again, if you execute daily, you should be able to get out of a situation in a month. You could turn things around in a month. You could turn things around in a couple of months. All you gotta do is attack daily. And I'm gonna say this again, all you have to do is attack daily. Every day you wake up, attack. Have a game plan and stick to the game plan. And I'm gonna say this again, have a game plan and literally stick to the game plan. If you stick to the game plan, there is no way that you're gonna lose. And I'm gonna say this again, if you stick to the game plan, there is no way that you're gonna lose. Listen, we live in a world full of opportunity. But you could talk about it, but until you actually put action, until you actually start, you have to understand talk is cheap. Now, on this journey, you're gonna run into roadblocks. But let me tell you guys something, if you stay in the fight, if you stay around, you're gonna realize, listen, I now have the wisdom. I now know what not to do, and now is game time, game 7. We are now in a month of November. This is a month, and I'm gonna say this again, a lot of guys are gonna break through in this month. This is a month to really go hard. This is a month to attack. We gotta look at the end of every year, like, listen, we gotta start the new year off, listen, ahead of the curve. We gotta get ahead. This is the time to get ahead. A lot of people are partying. While they're partying, you should be recording. And I'm gonna say this again, while they're partying, you should be recording. A lot of people are chasing after women. While they're chasing after women and they're acting like they don't understand the outcome, let me tell you guys something. I didn't want to name the video off of the young man's situation, but it's an NBA player. His name is it's like DeJounte, and the guy literally decided to date a single mother of a rapper and now complaining on the internet, talking about she doesn't want the good life. Listen, these women are programmed to like men of a dark light. You have to understand. See, everything is sugarcoated. So in society, they like to use the term bad guys. There's no such thing as bad guys. It's guys with dark light. Even women that are attracted to guys that use steroids, it's the same thing. They're attracted to a dark light. Imagine a woman being attracted to a man that literally takes a needle and just to get bigger. Come on. So women that are attracted to that, they're attracted to a dark light. You guys cannot fall for the looks. And I'm gonna say this again. You guys cannot fall for looks. You got an NBA basketball player talking about his woman is going to the club over a future with him. Listen, first of all, this man said that she was in the club shaking her ass. First of all, she already has a child, so she was with her baby father shaking her ass. Guys, listen, relationships, I want to talk about relationships. It's not worth executing. When you lock in, people be like, yo, they be trying to question you like, yo, are you suspect because you locked in? No, at my age, at 39, I see relationships as a dead-end trap. If you didn't really get what you wanted, it's a dead-end trap. Why would I be in a dead-end trap just to be on a podcast? Be like, hey, this is my woman. And then after the podcast over, we're arguing. And I'm gonna say this again, we're arguing. You guys have to understand, if a woman has a child with another man, she is busy raising another man's child for the rest of her life. Now, some people like to mix kingdoms. I talked about this a couple years ago, but me, you got to stop and think, mixing kingdoms? Why? Listen, it's a lot of single women out here without kids. If you work on yourself and if you take care of yourself and if you actually run it up, you guys will be able to talk and vet whoever you want to be with. And I'm gonna say this again, you'll be able to talk and vet with whoever you want to be with. If you don't have kids and you want to take on a woman with a child already, you're asking yourself for failure. You're setting yourself up. You guys have to understand, all kings gotta win. If another man decides to procreate with a woman, you guys got to keep in your mind, he went all the way. He hit her with a back forward. He hit her with a ta-ta-ta-ta Yugen. And then she had to carry that move that was done for 9 months. So that man is a part of her forever. You guys have to understand, that man is a part of her forever. So a lot of these dudes, they're in the dark, they got dark light because a lot of these guys, they just want to say they're mother uffer. So what happens is they just want to be like, oh yeah, I mess with so-and-said baby mama. I've been there before. I done told dudes, yo, I got your woman with me, she on my futon. I've been there before. You guys have to understand. And I'm gonna say this again. You guys have to understand, it's not worth it. There is an abundance of women out here, too many. Listen, you guys have to understand, it's a lot of women out here. See, a lot of guys, they get locked into a woman. I'm here to say, no, you got to be locked in to reality. You got to be locked in. If a woman has a child with a man, she's taking care of his seed for the rest of her life. So when you come through and you want to be with her, you are saying we are all in all to take care of another man's seed. And then if you mix the kingdom and procreate, what happens is you're now taking your seed and now you saying we all in all with the first man's seed. Listen, life ain't that serious. Ain't nobody ugly. Nobody is ugly. Beauty, I know it might sound cliche, but beauty is on the inside. And I'm gonna say this again, beauty is on the inside. Nobody is that ugly to be taking care of another man's seed. You feel me? Like when it's all said and done, if that dude went all the way without a rubber, and I'm gonna say this again, if that dude went all the way without a rubber, why is he running around town? And it's a cycle. So what happens is the second guy comes in and it doesn't work. So baby father number two, he gets, we're just gonna stop right there because he's coming into a tough situation. The first guy, he put his flag on that planet. You guys have to understand, it's like being an astronaut. The original father of the child, he's planting his flag on the planet. So why would you orbit in, come on another man's planet, and then you literally want to bring your new kid in another man's planet? You guys got to think long term. Long term, you're going to win. Long term is going to work out. Long term, you'll be able to get the woman that you want, you feel me, without a family. You feel me? Guys have to understand when you step that number one or number two, it's going to be tough for you because she's going to look like, why do you want to be a firefighter? Why do you want to come into this street hood, thuggish, ruggish relationship and then put yourself in something that you don't even got no business with? You feel me? Like, but guys don't care because what happens is they're caught up in the look of the woman as opposed to her job. She is taking care of the seed of another man. She's busy. She's busy with his seed, which is now the child that started off on a random night. You see what I'm saying? You guys have to understand. They done sold Tyler Perry movies to the masses. So I feel for these younger guys, they're just coming through and they're not thinking because the woman look good and they feeling like, yo, I'm gonna marry a woman that's dedicated. She's dedicated. If she has a child, she is dedicated. A mother is a mother for life. The man planted his flag for life. You guys have to understand listen, see, they want to make guys feel like if you're not 6 feet tall, that you got to get the woman late. Let me tell you guys something. They out here lying to you. They lying to you. If another man plant his flag, if another man want to procreate with that woman, that's cool. That's his territory. But where's your territory? How do you be an NBA player and you want another man's territory and then you cry about it when it doesn't work? It's never going to work out. It's never going to work out. Baby father number one, he is the mayor of the ecosystem. He is the president of the ecosystem. He's everything of the ecosystem. It's his ecosystem. So you're going into another man ecosystem talking about, I could do better, I could do better, but you're in his ecosystem. You guys have to understand, relax. A lot of women with kids, they look good, but they're thinking about stability. They're thinking about survival. And if you stepdad number two and you got some type of money or some type of, it doesn't matter, she can still put you on child support and you still a resource. So this is how it goes. These women are, they're not dumb. They were born in 1992. Everybody put a 1992 in the chat. These women are not dumb. Y'all keep acting like they dumb. Stop acting. Yo, they was born in 1992. You guys have to understand they was born in 1992. Like, they know what they doing. They just using guys that are lusting. This is why it's so important as a man that we try our best to control our lust, because why would this man talk about his wife is choosing a club over him? You guys have to understand, these women, if you a stepdad, they looking at you like you gonna get stepped on. So I know there's a lot of stories out there, different shows, different folks, but I'm telling you guys that if you guys really just take your time, see, the name of the game is patience. You can find the right woman out there. There's a lot of good women out there. I'm talking about amazing, wonderful women out there. But no, these guys, they want these women that are literally seeking after street guys. Let me tell you guys something. A lot of women that chase after these men, they experience trauma, so they're trauma bonded. So some people just never lived a normal life. They just never lived a normal life. So if you're a guy and you live a normal life and you meet a woman and she has yet to live a normal life and she is in the streets, I can't do it, because she probably has street contacts. You guys have to understand. Listen, everything ain't for everybody. And I'm gonna say this again, everything ain't for everybody. If you meet a woman and she said that I used to talk to guys in the streets, listen, that's the perfect time to leave, because she's attracted to that dark light. And a lot of guys don't understand, but when you see a lot of these women going into fraternity houses, these women are attracted to dark light. So this is how Lucifer gets people. He promotes the people that are dark, and the people that are dark, these are the people that are celebrities, people that push the divide. These are the people that are celebrities because they're dark. So if a woman is the mother of a child of a rapper, all women that love rappers, they love darkness. You guys have to understand, all the women that love rappers or guys from Kappa Phi Kappa, they love darkness. You guys have to understand, that's why guys say don't envy the oppressed, because these guys, they think that the other guy had something. DeJounte, I think that's his name, he thought that NBA YoungBoy had something. He wanted that man flag on his planet. He wanted that flag. He married her. Like, he went out and married her. Imagine that. If the original father didn't marry her, how do you just come through skirt Mario go-kart, slipping a banana, and you step up to... Listen, there's a lot of sucker activities that's going on in this world, and I just gotta tell you that we gotta stay sucker free. People gonna have jokes. When you locked in, they gonna be like, oh, you don't like women? No, I know, I like my peace. I'm not dating, and I'm not entering a relationship off of lust. A lot of these guys that you see that are quote unquote Mac daddies, super pimps, these guys, they pick and choose what kids they want to take care of, and they leave their other kids out in a cold like Nebraska. You guys have to understand, relationships are easy. Most men are not thinking long term. They're thinking short term. How could I get with somebody baby mother? What type of thought is that? Listen, you guys have to understand. I talked to a woman with a child, 2023, and I had to flee. But I let her know every step of the way, I cannot meet your child. I'm not trying to meet your child. That's another man's seed. Dudes be really around other men's seed. You guys have to understand, but this is how the matrix works. 9 out of 10 now is rare, but these NBA guys, they're sending the wrong message because you're letting these women feel that they could literally go out here, procreate with a rapper, and get a secure life, and then meet an NBA basketball player without kids and keep it going, and then meet a hockey player. So these guys, they're sending a message to women that you could just keep getting slayed and paid. You see what I'm saying? And that doesn't concern the FLS. But when I see men coming after women, I say, no, we got to take accountability as men, because that man said his wife is at the club shaking her ass. What do you think she was doing at the baby father house before you? And I'm going to say this again. What do you think she was doing at her baby father house before you? So we don't have to put women on blast on this channel. Listen, I salute the woman, because my main thing is 9 out of 10, most men, we approach the woman. So if we approach the woman, we wanted the smoke. And if we got the smoke, I just want to say, first of all, if you talk to a woman with a child and you got caught up and you fell in love, you got to plead the fifth. Everybody put a 5 in the chat. You got to plead the fifth. You can't just be out here telling people, yo, I was taking care of another man's seed and look at what she did to, oh no. We don't talk like that in the jungle. We're gorillas. We don't talk like that in the jungle. If you want to take care of another man's seed and you felt that man is that honorable that he could run off on his response, these guys are literally running off on their responsibilities. And they expect guys that wear cardigan sweaters, we're supposed to step up to the plate and say, oh, listen, baby, he will never have to do that again. I'm here to save the day. Take my cardigan sweater and you don't have to worry. You don't have to call. Listen, this sucker stuff gotta stop. This sucker stuff gotta stop. We hardcore. We are hardcore. We grind. Listen, Diamond Time. We are hardcore. We are not suckers. We're gonna wait. That's what you guys have to do. You guys have to wait. See, they want us to chase after these gorillas. I'm like, yo, why would I chase after a gorilla when I'm a gorilla? These women, they want emotional men. I'm tired of the agenda. They want these emotional men to be like, ping, pow, ping, pow, 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 ping, pow. I'm not doing that. But I will go to Las Vegas at a pool party, say, pump up the volume, pom, pom, pom. That's just it. Now, a lot of these women with kids, they be telling me that the father of the child be like 6, 7, and he be backhanding them. And I'm like, yo, I cannot do this. They be telling me I had to leave because the guy, he was 6, 7, he just came through in the room and just, I said, no, I gotta leave. You guys have to understand, you don't judge the person, but you gotta understand, some people love the excitement of, am I gonna get a backhand today? That's what pimping was all about. See, when people think about I'm out here pimping, they be thinking about the cool side of pimping. You feel me? Like the woman, the money, but they don't be talking about the backhands. If you're not backhanding some of these women, they not happy. Like, why you not backhanding me? No, you gotta leave it alone. And I'm gonna say this again. You gotta leave it alone. You gotta leave it alone. Cause we don't got time for that. See, we got to lock in. See, most guys, they really think that they could change a woman. And before I finish this live, I just want to say, you cannot change a woman. If she loves the lifestyle of going in a club and a DJ shouting her out, you could put her in a mansion, but somehow she gonna sneak out that house like Cinderella. Listen, you cannot change these women. These women, they literally want to do them and really be in charge. And the minute that you try to lay some type of order down, what happens is now you get dumped and you get kicked out of the relationship. Listen, what's going on is most men that are getting women, they're getting problems. And instead of them saying they're receiving problems, they're acting like they're living some fantastic lifestyle, but they're receiving problems. They're receiving backlash. They're receiving back chat. They're receiving second baby father, third baby father, back cat, back chat. You guys have to understand, it's real out here. Most guys are not getting that first round Travis Hunter. They're not getting that. They're not getting what they really want. I'm here to tell you as a man, don't settle. And I'm gonna say this again, don't settle. If a woman wants to procreate with another man, we salute their family. And I'm gonna say this again, we salute their family. Happy Father's Day, you know what I mean? That's your family. But we don't come in on an invade mission and say, I'm gonna take care of another man's seed and show him how to really do this. Oh no. What is that about? Who told you that? Tyler Perry? You guys have to understand. Take your time. Be patient. And I'm going to say this again. Take your time and be patient. You're going to win. You're going to get what you want eventually, but you got to hold on. And I'm going to say this again, but you got to hold on. Hold on to the line. Hold on to the line. Stop going out and dedicating your life to another man. Hennessy Knight. Shout in the building. Wow. Shout out to my man in the building. $49 super chat. We in the building. You guys have to understand. Thank you. I appreciate that. Really do appreciate that. You guys have to understand. We cannot live a life as the sixth man. We cannot live a life just coming off of the bench. We cannot live a life just taking in anything. A lot of these guys out here that you think are getting women, they're getting disrespected on a daily. But it doesn't matter because they still want what they want. You guys, take your time, find wholesome women, good women, they really out there. And I'm gonna say this again, there's a lot of good women that are really out there. You just gotta wait. You gotta be patient. Don't listen. If another man put his flag on that planet, he letting you know, don't come around, that's my woman. That's why they took the condom off. You guys have to understand, they did the back forward for a reason. They did that to the Yugen for a reason. They wanted to leave a message. When a man is the first man to procreate with a woman, he's leaving a message. This is my woman for life. And what happens is in America and probably all around the world, these dudes dudes are running in behind and saying, no, this is my woman now for life. Shout out to everybody, man. Life is real. Relationships are easy. And I'm going to say this again. Relationships are easy. All you have to do is know that you have to be top priority. As a man, if you're not top priority, you got to stop and think, what are you doing? If you're not top priority, what are you doing? Like, you got to really stop and think. You're not top priority. And if a woman has a child, of course you're not top priority. She has a child. That man's seed is top priority. You guys have to understand. Don't make life difficult. Keep it simple. There are an abundance of women. I don't think guys understand it doesn't end. And when it comes to the beautiful ones, there is an endless supply. Somebody say, nobody will ever agree to marry him. Let me tell you guys something. Let me tell you guys something. I was engaged. I had a fiance. You feel me? You guys have to understand. I was going to get married in Greece. I was going to get married in Greece. I am a top pick. Top pick. You guys have to understand, top pick. Highly searched. If a woman has me, she has a professional provider. She has a personal trainer. She has a fighter. She has a gainer. She has a pull-up. She has a painter. You guys have to understand. Listen, right now, I think, see, that's the problem. And we got to address this. As a man, you have to really feel you're highly sought after before it happens. So when it happens, see, I'm trying to really help you guys out. You guys, listen, a lot of guys don't realize, but even if you don't got no woman now, everybody put 0W. I'm going to give you guys a straight gem. Ooh. I'm going to give you guys a straight gem. Survival Times, I'm a lyricist. You guys have to understand, even if you don't have 0 woman, you got to still feel like you highly sought after. It's a mindset. If 0 women are texting you, that's because you're too exclusive. They can't get to. See, it's a mindset thing. So if 0 women are texting you, that's because you're the most desirable that they can't get to you unless they have a certain invite. Unless they have a certain invite, they can't get to you. They can't get to you. You guys have to understand, if no women are calling you, that's because you have an executive line. They can't just get through the corporate chain like that. They got to go through, you feel me? Might reach out to your cousin. You got the executive line. You guys have to understand. You got to see yourself as a highly sought after man with $0. Everybody put 0D in the chat. We talking that real. How do you get there? See, a lot of people don't understand. They had a song back in the day and it was like this. I'll see you when you get there. If you ever get there. See you when you get there. I like the melody. I'll see you when you get there. Let's go. If you ever get there. So I hope to see you guys when you get here. There's an abundance of women. And you guys have to understand. Take your time. 31 flavors. Your kind is there. I know she's there. These women, they were born in 1992. She's there. The one that you like, 31 flavors every city. Times 31. Yup. Every city. Trust me. Just make sure in that 60 try, you looking fly, you smelling good, and you looking good. But each city, each country, you got another reset. And I'm gonna say this again. Each country. In Romania, you have your reset. In Budapest, Hungary, you have your reset. In Kenya, you have your reset. In Oklahoma, you have your reset. Keep going, my brothers. Keep going, my brothers. They told me, they said, Mr. Keep It Simple, you need to make content for the women and stop making content for men because men are not listening. Whoa, listen, I will never turn my back on the gorillas. Listen, I met a lot of the gorillas in Charlotte, North Carolina. Everybody buff like me. Everybody buff like me. We can't turn our backs on the gorillas. Everybody buff like me. My ecosystem, those guys in the comment section look like me. Listen, everybody looks like me. I'm telling you, bro. I look like them. The FLS, we the best. And I'm gonna say this again. The FLS, we the best. They look like, no sore throat. They look like us. We in the building. You guys have to understand. Survival times, I'm a lyricist. Take your time. When it comes to a woman, me personally, I'm so sought after. I don't know Australia. I don't know. I just don't know. Iceland, Denmark, Finland, Sweden. Listen, as a man, you gotta view yourself as a free agent. If you single, you don't run into another man's family. You run to run it up. And when you're ready, you start your own family. Now, a lot of these women do look good, but you gotta understand they busy. Hello? Caller, do you get it? They're busy. They're busy. The guy before you that put his flag, you gotta understand, she wanted his flag forever. That first kid, that's the flag forever. The future basketball star that you gotta pick up at AAU, that's the flag forever. So you gonna put your kid next to that AAU basketball player? You guys have to understand. Take your time. Women are not going anywhere. A new woman turns 18 every day. Now, people say, Mr. Keep It Simple, is 18 legal? Of course it is. Of course it is. And they're going to say, oh, Mr. Keep It Simple, I can't believe you said that. No, it is. It is. New freshmen go to college every day. University of Kentucky, life goes on. University of Clemson, life goes on. University of Nebraska, life goes on. University of Oregon, Eugene, life goes on. Life goes on. You guys have to understand, when you get ready, she's ready, but she needs you to be ready. See, a lot of guys don't understand. They want to keep dating before elevation, and they wonder why they can't take off. And I'm going to say this again. They want to keep dating before elevation, and they wonder why they can't take off. You see what I'm saying? Like, people got to understand, whatever woman you like, she's out there and she's waiting for you. Take your time. She just wants you to relax. She just wants you to relax. She just wants you to be at peace with yourself so you could be at peace with her. You guys have to understand, if you're not a part of this dark society, don't worry about women. 9 out of 10, the women, they want guys that are taking showers and streams with other, like, that's what they into now. You feel me? You guys have to understand, these women, they are attracted to guys in dark places drinking promethazine and leaning. You guys have to understand. Listen, you can't compete with the darkness. Either you're going to be dark or you're going to wait your time for the women who don't like guys that are in darkness. Listen, you guys have to understand. Why do you think guys join a fraternity? Because they're getting overlooked by darkness. If they wasn't getting overlooked by darkness, they will never join, but they feel like, oh no, the darkness is winning. And that's the problem with society. And that's why they promote these people, because they want to promote the darkness winning. That's what, we're not going out like that. There's going to come a time where righteous men are going to say, we're not going out like that. We're not just going to be silenced. We're not just going to sit back and act like we're not winning too, right? Listen, that's what the whole life is about. It's about good versus evil. And I'm here to say you can't pick a side. You see what I'm saying? Like, either you're gonna be a part of the dark Kappa Phi Kappa, either you're gonna be a Kappa Phi Kappa, or you're gonna be a pastor sleeping with somebody's wife. But you going, listen, a lot of these women, they just love darkness. They love gang members. They love these guys that are in the mob. They listen, it's worldwide. They love like mobsters. You feel me? My bosses, they love the Big Meech. When Big Meech came home, he had like 1,000 hot women coming home to see him like he had a job. And then he snitched and it got canceled. You guys have to understand. Don't follow the crowd. They want us to get on the dark side. You feel me? They want us to get on that Malcolm X nonsense. They want us to start pushing division. They want us to talk about we oppress. I need a cash app. We oppress. All my Pan-Africanists. Look, no, we are not oppressed. We are the gorillas and we're coming back. We're coming back. The comeback is coming. Listen, the comeback is going to be so serious. People are going to now start to think it's comeback season. And I'm going to say this again. This comeback in the year 2026 is going to be so serious. People are going to say, yo, it is literally comeback season. What do you think about that? I think it's great. And I think you're great. They say, Mr. Keep It Simple, stop making content for men. I said, why not? They say, Mr. Keep It Simple, they don't feel you. I don't care. They said, but Mr. Keep It Simple, they push back. I don't care. When it's all said and done, men, we are great. We are the head. We're not stepdad number 3. We deserve the best. Everybody deserves the best. And I'm gonna say this again, we deserve the best. I don't care if you're 5'5". I don't care if you're 5'1". This world cannot push us. They cannot move us. We're 5 feet and we're centered. And I'm gonna say this again, we're 5 feet and we're centered like a center. Come on, bring that back from the top. We're 5 feet and we're centered like a center. You guys have to understand, this world wants us to feel like because we under 6 feet tall, we gotta raise somebody AAU soccer player. Look, and I'm gonna say this again, you guys have to understand, no, you're number one. You're number one. I'm here to tell you, Mr. Keep It Simple is here to tell you that you're number one. You're great. You're gonna be somebody. And I'm gonna say this again, you're great. You're gonna be somebody. You're gonna make a woman smile so hard. She's gonna say, wow, have you always been like this? And she's not gonna know that it just started right now. She's not, and you don't need to tell her that you used to be a lame. That ain't none of her business. You feel me? That ain't, you feel me? Yeah, through sobbing. That ain't none of her business. Change your life around. And I'm gonna say this again, change your life around. You guys have to understand, life is beautiful once you decide to start executing and make that comeback. But you gotta make the comeback. You gotta do it for you. See, I could pump you up, and that's my job. I'm a coach. And I'm gonna say this again, I could pump you up, that's my job. I'm a coach. I'm a life coach. I'm a strength coach. You guys have to understand, this is my job. When I come, I'm talking to the FLS. When I come, we're talking to the new guys right now that are subbing. When I come on YouTube, I'm coaching. I'm calling the plays. You feel me? Blue 42, Blue 42, Blue 42, audible, 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 audible. You guys have to understand. You feel me? Audible, 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 audible. Stand up, guy. Applaudable, applaudable. You got... You listen, what are you waiting for? That's the real question. Why are you not creating a brand? Why are you not creating content? Why are you not saying enough is enough? I'm going to get the woman in the blue Lululemons. Yeah, to all you guys out there, Yeah, you could do it. The woman in that blue Lululemons, that was just a prototype of what you about to get. She was there to show you if you stayed in a fight, is you gonna get something similar. Everybody put an S in the chat for something similar. We in the building. We not greedy. We don't just say, I want that. She is not a car. She's a woman. She's a human. But guess what? When we do what we gotta do, we gonna get something similar. We in the building. We are in the building. You guys have to understand. Life is it's all about longevity. If you're willing to wait, you're gonna be great. And I'm gonna say this again. If you're willing to wait, you're gonna be great. Listen, I can't believe they say, Mr. Keep It Simple, turn your back on the bros, turn your back on the guys. They said I should make content for women. I do make content for women. I get the men right so they could go out in major cities and actually treat these women right, never backhand a woman. You feel me? Like, that's what it's all about. You see what I'm saying? A lot of these guys, they don't respect these women. We at the FLS headquarters, we respect women. We respect women. We try our best not to sell dreams to women. You see what I'm saying? Like at the FLS here on the front lines, we really respect women. We respect them. We even respect them. If they like street guys, we let them have it. We don't get caught up. If they had a baby father, we let them have their life. We don't get caught up. We don't judge. And I'm gonna say this again, we don't judge, but we understand that it's a lot of women. Everybody put LOW. A lot. No, it'll be A. No, it doesn't matter. See, listen, you guys have to understand, it's a lot of women out here. It's an abundance. Think abundance. If you think abundance, abundance gives patience. No, let me say that again. Abundance, it gives way to patience because, listen, when you think the woman in the blue leggings was not the last, you can stay focused and you're not even trying to chase after that because you're like, you know what? That was just the preview. I told you guys the preview comes before the movie. And I'm gonna say this again. The preview comes before the movie. A lot, like I said, some of us, we getting shipped out. Some of us going to Switzerland, some of us going to Denmark, some of us going to Brazil, some of us going to Kenya, some of us going to Ghana, some of us going to Nigeria. A lot of us are getting shipped out. And when we go to a new country, we will be the best versions of ourselves. Listen, they say, Mr. Keep It Simple, if you make content for women, you'll make more money. I'm like, more money? More money? I need more diamonds. And I'm gonna say this again, they say more money. I'm like, more money? I need more diamonds. See, that's the thing. See, that's the thing. You guys have to understand. More money, more diamonds, more inspiration, that will bring more resources. Enough of the short term. They want us to just focus on the short term. No. I'm never turning my back on the guys. Too many people did it. Too many people started, oh, we're straight with the bros. We're straight with the bros. And then all of a sudden, Little numbers came, little success came, and they turn it back on the guys. They turn it back on the gorillas. They turn it back. They're turning backs. Now, you don't gotta worry about that with me. Because when it's all said and done, people start new YouTube channels every day. People getting monetized every day. Shout out to NSR Talk, shout out to I Need Some Understanding, shout out to Wise Eats. We already know. You see what I'm saying? It's legendary. You see what I'm saying? Just because a couple guys don't have biceps and they don't like the content because the content includes biceps, that's none of my business. When it's all said and done, listen, I didn't land it on biceps. Biceps landed on me. You guys have to understand. Shout out to my guy in the building, man. FLS, I'm telling you, enjoy every day. And that's one thing people are not talking about, because people are talking about, oh, having this, having, no, enjoy every day. Whatever you want, execute. Execute. And that's why I named this live execution, because just execute. Once you figure out how to execute, you're going to realize the things that you were worried about, it's not even worth worrying. And I'm going to say this again, the things that you were worried about, it's not even worth worrying, because you know what? As time goes on, you're going to get stronger. I understand when things happen, when you first get fired. I understand when you first get suspended. I understand when things happen, it's going to hit you at first. You feel me? It's going to make you wobble, boom, boom. But guess what? As time go on, you're going to get bigger than your situation. You're going to get bigger than your circumstances. You feel me? So stay in a fight. You already know what it is. FLS, you guys have to understand. These women out here, it's a lot. Always remember that it's a lot. So if it's a lot, you got to take your time. Take your time until you get what you want. If you can't get what you want, why settle? If you can't get what you want, why complain? If you can't get what you want, why go on another man's ecosystem where his flag is already planted? No, take your time. If you take your time, trust and believe, everything's going to work out in your favor. And I'm going to say this again. Everything is going to work out in your favor. But you got to believe it. And I'm going to say this again, but you have to believe it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Listen, it's crazy. We just hit the record button and we're already at 52 minutes. And I'm going to say this again. Just hit the record button, already at 52 minutes. That right there is what you call passion. I want all men to get from being a sideline watcher to actually in life. And it's crazy. But I'm gonna say this again, I want all men to get from being sideline watchers to actually getting into life. Because once you start to live your life, once you start to see stuff moving, once you start to see the motion, once you start to see opportunities open, once you understand you went from Ashley, now you got money for lotion, you guys have to understand, that's when you're gonna realize, you know what, things are turning around. And yes, things are turning around. And I'm gonna say this again. Once you really start to execute, you're gonna realize, wow, if I keep at it, things are gonna turn around. Yes, things are going to turn around. Trust and believe. Trust and believe. Things are gonna turn around. You guys have to understand, storms don't last forever. And I'm gonna say this again. Storms do not last forever. If you in a storm, guess what? Weather it. And I'm gonna say this again, if you in a storm, weather the storm. Bring that storm to an end. If you in a war, bring that war to an end. Whatever you gotta do, listen, you can't live your life, you feel me, confused. You can't live your life, you feel me, not knowing, you feel me. You can't live your life, you feel me, like puzzled. You can't live your life like that. When it's all said and done, there comes a time where you just gotta take action. And I'm gonna say this again, there comes a time where all you gotta do is take action. And so many guys, they work hard just to lust after women for the short term. No, we gotta think long term. If she not gonna be around 10 years from now, listen, that might be another live, that might be another video, but I'm serious. If she not gonna be around for 10 years from now, why bother? Why give up the mangoes for drama? Why give up the pineapples for drama? Why give up the blackberries for drama? Why give up the smoothies for drama? Why give up traveling for drama? Why give up peaceful living for drama? It's not worth it. You guys have to understand in the building. Thank you guys for tuning in. For real facts, like your peace is priceless. And I'm gonna say this again. Your peace is priceless. So what's the point of really rushing into a relationship? What's the point of really getting into a relationship? You gotta stop and think. Like, just because a celebrity is in a relationship, that's dumb. They decide to spend that. They decide to, you feel me? That's their choice. It's not my choice. Just because a celebrity is dating, that doesn't mean that I gotta go out. Absolutely not. Take your time, stack your crumbs, and build your pie. Game is simple. Thank you for motivating me to stop. You feel me? You guys have to understand. Listen, I'm here. I'm here. I am here. I'm here to help. We're all in this together. Nobody's perfect, but life development is worth it. I'm gonna say this again. Nobody is perfect, but self-development is worth it. Thank you guys for tuning in. We have literally hit 1 hour. Let it breathe.